Hey, you guys. So wanted to give you guys another video here on setting up some features within, specifically, this is within Hospitable, the PMS that I use. But again, many of the PMSs are going to have similar functionalities. It's just a matter of setting them up and how you go about that with that specific PMS. So again, this is for Hospitable. That's the PMS that I use. I like it because it's, frankly, in my opinion, it's probably the most user-friendly PMS out there, and relatively the cost on it is reasonable, and I think it might even be one of the lowest. They don't have all the heavy hitting features that something like Owner Res might have, or maybe even some of the features like Guesty, but they are a newer and younger company, and they're always adding on new and additional features. So, I mean, they've got a list of things that they're working on and that they roll out all the time. So within a matter of time, I know it's going to be having all those similar competitive features that some of these bigger, more robust PMSs have. But for me, I manage 12 currently, and it's got every functionality that I need and then some. So anyway, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So what we're going to go over today is in specific to automatic messaging. So automatic messaging is going to be key for automating your short-term rental business. Once you have this set up and set up properly, this is really going to automate 90% of the operations of your short-term rental business when it comes to guest communications. So there's a lot of standard stuff that you're going to be able to set up right off the bat, and then you might need to fine tune and add in some things as you see, issues or questions that come up. But this is a preview here. This is my PMS dashboard here for the guest experience and Hospitable messaging rules. And so you can see these are all the ones with green. These are active automatic messages that I have. So, and we'll just run through them. Some of these are repeats, but they're just for different properties or different sets of properties. So when a new booking comes in, pre-approval, a request to book, a payment issue, a new reservation, a rental car, expired pre-approval, new cancellation, night before extension, which we also just did a video on this as well, which is really key. Look this guy up, guys. This is a huge way to drive some extra revenue and increase your occupancy by selling orphan nights before or after existing reservations. So check that out. It's really helpful and has a really good hit rate. Thing to do recommendations specific to the areas, check-in instructions specific to the properties, reminder on the rental cars, bug notice, catering, a second scheduled check-in message specific to the property, some amenity and property specific instructions, property specific directions, again, an amenity specific thing, a first morning check-in message, the night after extension, checkout instructions, a review request, and then a second review request and discount offer that gets sent out. So you can see there's quite a bit of these that I have set up. And again, you may not need all of these for your properties, but I encourage you to think about what is the important information that the guests need, right? What are questions that they may have? Try to be preemptive or proactive on answering those for them. And then how can you try to enhance their experience or bolster the potential of getting a good review, with some good review request messages or incentives. And so I want to dive into, maybe we'll dive into a couple here. Let's see. Well, let's just look at the review request. How about that? All right. So, hi, guest first name. Is a pleasure hosting you in that city. We'll certainly be leaving you a great review for your stay, and I hope you have more great trips with whatever platform they use. If you ever come back, please let us know and give us a chance to accommodate you again. And if you'd be so kind to spread the word about our cabin, we do offer a referral bonus, a $25 gift card to you For anyone you refer that completes a minimum of 3-night stay, they must mention they were referred by you in your book. Here are the links for both Airbnb and Vrbo, and a link to all our cabins and cottages to share on Facebook, Instagram, etc. So here now we share them a link for every property we have on both platforms, Airbnb and Vrbo. If you'd like to leave us your email, we can share with you updates on the property as we do them. We promise not to spam you, just keep you updated. We do this because we want to gather their emails so we can use that for email marketing campaigns and to bolster our direct bookings. Our business depends on great guests like you leaving us a 5-star review, and we look forward to reading yours. That truly mean a lot to us. We didn't realize until we became hosts that anything less than a 5-star review is actually a bad review and can actually hurt our business, which our family depends on. So we thank you ahead of time for your 5-star review, and we'll be doing the same for you. And if you ever have any suggestions for how we could have improved your stay, please don't hesitate to message us privately and let us know, as we constantly are working to improve the experience for everyone, sincerely. So a couple things. So I mentioned the review, I mentioned, about the review rating system, right? And then I also say, if you have any suggestions, message us privately, right? To encourage them to not leave that in the review, but message us privately on that. And that gets sent out, right? 2 hours after checkout. Now, I have a second review request message that gets sent out 7 days later, because let's face it, you guys, when you think about when you go on vacation, when you come back, is the first thing that you're going to do or on the priority list for you to leave a great review for, the host for the property that you just stayed at? No, you're getting back into work. You get the kids back in school. You got this, that, and the other thing. You're back to real life, right? So oftentimes, if a guest doesn't send a message, a review within the first, honestly, like within the first 24 hours, they're probably going to forget, right? So 7 days later, once things have kind of settled down, they're back into their routine, I send them a little reminder. Say, hey, we hope you settled in back home and into the normal routine after your getaway. Really appreciate it if you could take a quick minute and leave us a 5-star review, same as we did for you. And if you send us a snapshot of the 5-star review in your email, we'll be sending you a link for our new website that's in the process of being set up, and a discount code for the future stay at any of our properties. We look forward to hosting you again. So again, we encourage a 5-star review. We give them a little incentive. We ask for the email, and bam, there you go. So this is just another way to kind of hopefully get more reviews, and ideally get more 5-star reviews, and get their email information that you can use for your marketing or direct booking campaigns, right? Oh, and actually, you know what? See if it shows. Yeah. So you can also include a picture. It only gets sent out Airbnb, but so this picture gets included in my message as well. That shows them the rating system for Airbnb. It should be this one too, I think. Yeah. Right. So it's in both of those messages, gets sent out. Let's see what's some other good ones here. Okay, yeah, recommendations. So let's look at that. And this, frankly, I used AI, used ChatGPT. I just said, give me top 10, I think, or no, even more. So whatever, give me top dining recommendations in Sevierville, Tennessee. Top thing to do recommendations, and it pumped out these lists. So it took a minute, copy and paste it in here. You do just want to check that the restaurants are open. Sometimes the ChatGPT data can be a little outdated, and you never know when a business may go out of business. But it's great. It gives you the name, it gives you a little description. And again, I just literally copied and pasted this from ChatGPT. And I had a list that I had used previously from, I think I'd gotten it just from another host in the area. And then I think this maybe only 2-3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I actually updated it with this. And I'm going to say I've gotten so many thank you messages from guests since I put in this updated one that ChatGPT offered, with all these different recommendations. Like, they love it, right? Because when they're coming, they want to know, hey, where's a good place to eat? What are some cool things to do? Right. And here's an easy guide for them to just turn to. So that's another nice little tip. Let's see if there's any other things here that are specific or handy. This, I'll just use this as an example. So this, of course, is going to be market property dependent. But in the Smokies, there is a ladybug season. Typically towards the end of fall and into winter, but when it starts getting really cold outside, the bugs start seeking warmth, right? Where can they find that? In your property. And you can get just, I mean, ladybugs everywhere. And so we want to give people a heads up on that. If they're not used to that, we don't want them to be surprised. Now, your cleaners, of course, are going to clean it every clean, but even if they clean it the same day, you'd be surprised. You can get a whole ton of them right away. So we just say, hey, give you a heads up. It's ladybug or bug swarming season in the Smokies for the next few weeks. There may be live or dead ladybugs, flies, blah, blah, blah. There's no way to prevent this. They're looking for a warm place to go. They're professionally cleaned, yada, yada, yada. Also, being that this cabin is in the woods, you may see mice or other wildlife. Rest assured, we have consistent pest control, but being in nature, there's only so much you can do, right? Apologize for any inconvenience, appreciate understanding. Again, this is just a way to preemptively try to mitigate issues, because if people aren't used to the mountains or not used to the woods or nature, wildlife, they see a bug or they see a mouse, they might freak out. We're at least giving them a heads up that, hey, this may happen, right? There's only so much you can do when you have a property in these places. And this has really helped out a lot, because you might get a guest that says, oh, I really don't like mice. Like if one shows up, I'm going to be scared. And we've had several messages like that. And we just assure them, we say, hey, honestly, it almost never happens that you see a mouse. But you never know. We can't control it, obviously. So, you're probably going to be fine. But if it does happen, don't freak out. It is what it is. And then most of the time we get people that say, oh, hey, we live in whatever, in the mountains too, or, we're used to it. And then we say, oh, well, great, you're going to be all set. Again, usually it's totally fine and there's not an issue at all. But, just in case, we always like to, excuse me, put that disclaimer out there. So that is that. And so, yeah, just think about, what are the things that you can preemptively take care of? What are some common questions that you can answer? What are some, anything that's confusing? Let's look at this. I think this has it. No, let's. This one might have it. Yes. Okay. Amenity specific instructions. So, or if there's anything that's confusing for your guests to operate, having a specific message explaining how to operate it, and even another step further, a video link showing how to operate it can be key. So several of our properties, we have outdoor theaters with a big projector screen and a projector and surround sound. So that can be a little confusing sometimes because you might have multiple remotes and people just not used to how to work a projector, even though it's pretty simple. So we have a specific message that gets sent out. There's an outdoor theater. Here's the step-by-step instructions. And then we prepared a couple of videos to show you. So we have our handyman or our cleaner actually go through the operation of it and videotape it. And then we just post it on our YouTube and give them the link. So, if they get confused or they can't figure it out, even if they might even miss this message, which does happen sometimes. But then if they say, hey, we can't figure it out, you can just point them back to this or take a little screenshot of it and resend it to them and say, hey, no worries. Here's the instructions. We even have a little video link for you to take a look on how to do it. It really helps out a lot. So that's automatic messaging and getting that set up in Hospitable and specific. And so again, just encourage you to think about what you can do and put in there to automate as much as possible of the messaging for you and your guests. And stop that screen. So there you go. Hope you guys got some info out of that and can put it into practice and help automate and make more efficient your short-term rental business. Take care.